Hey y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Um, so today's video is gonna be about my biggest horror story. Um, some people that I was friends with wanted to know my experience on living in Las Vegas. So I thought I would just make it into a video. Um, I wrote everything down, all the key points down so I don't forget nothing. Cause boys, there's a lot. There's a lot. But if you guys are wondering why I'm wearing the same clothes as in my last video, I filmed both of the videos at nighttime. So that's why I have on the same clothes, just in case you guys are wondering. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so I moved to Vegas with my older sister. I'm not gonna say her name for privacy reasons and because we also don't speak anymore, and I don't want to give her no clout off of none of this. So I'm gonna just say her name is Melissa. Okay, so me and my sister Melissa moved to Vegas. When was it? It was December 9th. December 9th, we moved to Vegas together. And honestly, I was having some issues with my family that I lived with in California. Not gonna get into that, but yeah, so basically I was having some issues with my family there, and I decided, like, why don't me and my sister get a place together? We have been getting along, really good. She had came back around last summer and we really like bonded, and we really like got to know each other better. And I don't know, like, I feel like we were able to relate to each other more because we had similar experiences, and like we just understood each other, or so I thought. And I thought that, since we were getting along so well, why not move to Vegas together and get our own place? I thought it was a great idea. So we decided December 9th, we drove to Las Vegas. And initially when we drove out there, we hadn't already looked for apartments. So, I mean, we had saved money to move in somewhere, but we didn't have, initially, we hadn't applied for no apartments. We hadn't looked at no places. We hadn't done any of that. We just we packed our stuff and we just went straight there. And that was pretty much it. Like, and that's pretty much how it went from there. But initially driving there, I was really excited. I had never been to Vegas before, so I was excited to see what Vegas was like, and I was excited to live there and go on the strip and everything like that. So I was actually really excited. My sister was excited also, and we just thought it was going to be a fun experience. So fast forward, we get there. We stayed in my sister's car for about a good 2 months. We were looking for places the whole time. It's just like the apartment process. Anybody who knows, anybody who has their own place knows the apartment process is slow and it's annoying, and it can get really irritating. And then, like, paying all that money and you don't even know if you're gonna get approved or not, it's really nerve-wracking. So, even though we were applying for apartments, we didn't know if we were gonna get approved or not. And the process was just so slow, and that's another reason why we end up staying in my sister's car for so long. But the last 2 weeks before we moved into our place, we actually did stay at the weekly suites. If you've been to Vegas, they have weekly suites. You pretty much pay there to stay for the week. And they have 2 bedrooms. I think the most they have is 3 bedrooms. We just had a regular 1 bedroom, and we took turns. She would sleep on the couch, I would sleep on the bed, and we would just take turns every night. Um, they're not the most comfortable beds and couches or anything like that, but honestly, for me, I was just more happy that we didn't have to sleep in the car and that I was able to take a shower and, just stretch out. And, it was just, to be honest, I loved it because we didn't have to be in the car. Honestly, that was, why I didn't mind staying there. Um, but eventually after that, um, we ended up getting our apartment February 1st. And I was really excited. Like, I was like, finally, we got our place. We can like relax, stuff like that. And I was just excited to have my first place. So, about the place, we moved into these apartments called 589. And the apartments, they look on the outside, they look terrible. On the inside, well, we had a renovated apartment. We had a renovated 2 bedroom. So on the inside, it actually looked way better than the outside. But I don't know, like, if you were to go inside our apartment and then walk outside, you like, I don't know, you just wouldn't expect it. Like, for our apartment, how it looked on the inside, you wouldn't expect the outside to look like that. Um, but we were just, we weren't thinking about, nothing really negative. We were just thinking about trying to enjoy our place and stuff like that. So, we moved in and everything was fine initially, but I say maybe 3 to 4 days after we moved in, um, my what is it called? My knob on my shower was already broke. And it's like, we had only been there 3 days, so I really just didn't understand how it was broke already. So that's red flag number one. Problem number one, whatever you want to call it. But that was the first issue. Second issue, I say, I want to say it was that same night or maybe the next day, not really sure. My sister tells me that she's seen roaches in her room. She says she's seen 2 in her bathtub, 1 in her closet, and 1 in her actual room. Because she had the master bedroom, so her bathroom was in her room. So, she was telling me that she's seen roaches in there. And honestly, I'm not a bug person. I hate bugs and I hate roaches especially. They're just disgusting and they make my skin crawl. So me hearing that, really honestly, it freaked me out. Like, I was like, Lord, I've never in my life lived with roaches ever. So honestly, I really did not know how to handle this situation. And honestly, I can't believe I'm even saying this right now. But I honestly, like, initially, I didn't see any in my room. I didn't see any in my bathroom. My sister was the only one seeing stuff in her room, in her bathroom. But I did, the first time I seen one was I was in the kitchen and I was standing next to the kitchen counter. And I turned around. Boom, I was turned around like this for 1 second. Then I turned back around. Then I turned around again and boom, there's one right there on the counter. I don't know how the hell it crawled there that fast. I don't know. I don't even know where the hell it came from. But I was really spooked. And my sister could see how freaked out I was. Cause like, I just, like, it's just, when you see bugs, I don't know. For me, when I see bugs, my skin like crawls. Like, I start itching. I start freaking out. I just don't like bugs. So this was really hard for me to deal with, like, because I've never dealt with nothing like this before. So this was definitely a challenge for me. And I did not know how to deal with it at all. And honestly, I wish I could say it got better from there, but honestly, it only gets worse. So not only did we have to deal with roaches in our house, but we also had to deal with our neighbors who were super ghetto. And I mean when I mean ghetto, I mean like playing music every night, loud as hell. They're loud as hell. You can hear them through the freaking wall. We could literally hear their conversations through the wall. That's how loud they are. Also, for some reason, they always felt the need to go and have conversations on the stairs of our apartment and be loud though. Like I don't know. For me, it's just common courtesy. It's nighttime, everybody sleep, going to work, going to school, going wherever. It's just common courtesy. Why are you yelling when you having a phone conversation? Like, you don't need to do all that. All you gotta do, if you have, I don't know. They would do that, and honestly, it just used to irritate me because I could hear it. I could literally hear their conversations from in my room with the door closed. That's how you know you're loud. When you can hear somebody's conversation from outside your house and you're in your room with the door closed, you're extremely too loud. Like, I honestly, I was like mind blown. Like, I don't understand that. But anyway, also, they had a lot of people, every apartment around us. So let me give you a better description of the apartment. So our apartment was on the top floor. So our apartment was right here. The neighbor's apartment was right there, and then we had two below us. Literally, everybody around us was always having people come over, was always playing music, was always having parties, was always being loud and just super obnoxious. Everybody around us, and it's like you can literally I literally close my door every single night when I go to bed, and I can still hear them, and it's just like I honestly don't get that. Like, I don't understand why people have to be so loud and just rude and inconsiderate of other people trying to, go to sleep. There was night, when I come home from work, at that time I was doing security. So during the daytime, I'm trying to go to sleep because at nighttime I have to get up and go to work. I'm not trying to sit up here and hear loud ass people. Like, who would? I don't know. But so that was one thing. And then also my sister had problems with the parking situation. Like, when at our apartment building, you're technically supposed to get two parking spots. One for the resident and then one for the resident's guests. So if you have your permanent parking spot and then you invite somebody over, then that second parking spot is for your guest. But for some reason, the people right across from us have their 60 cars, always want to park in the front near our house and leave no space for my sister to park her car. And she had an issue with that. And they also, like, they would put pizza on top of her car. They put paint. They put washable paint on her car. They somebody stuck a screw, or was it a screw or a nail or something like that in her tire, and it literally deflated. And we literally had to drive to the tire shop on freaking rolling on sparks because her tire was already deflated before we even left the parking lot to our apartment building. So that was another issue. I didn't have a car at the time, so like I didn't, that was her personal issue. But I always had to hear about it, so But also the maintenance people, so rude and inconsiderate. And what I mean by that is we literally our disposal in the sink would not work, and we literally went a month with our sink not working. We couldn't wash dishes like that. Like, literally what we had to do to wash dishes is we had to run very minimal water, because as soon as the water was coming up, and we had to wait for it to go down before we could even wash dishes again. And we had to wait an entire month, and we put in maintenance requests every single day, and they still didn't come until like a month later. And then usually, I don't know, but the proper procedure for when maintenance is coming to your house, they're supposed to let you know what time they're coming by, or leave a note on your door, call you, text you, whatever. They're supposed to give you a heads up when they're coming. They didn't give us a head. They never gave us a heads up. All the times that they came, they never gave us a heads up. And number two, they come at the wrong time. Like, every time they would come, me and my sister would be asleep, and there was times where I didn't even hear them knocking on the door, and I'm walking around in a t-shirt and underwear, and they just coming in the place like, hello, hello, like you're supposed to let people know. Why would you just come in and you don't know, like, we could have been naked or something, like, it just real inconsiderate, inappropriate. Like, literally one time the maintenance was coming in, and I ain't gonna lie, when I go to sleep, usually when I would work security and I work at night and I go to sleep during the day, I would wear my security shirt and some underwear, and that's what I would sleep in. And I'd be walking around my house and stuff like that, because I'm not thinking nobody's just gonna come in and not, I don't know. I figured they would give me a forewarning that they're gonna come and not just show up out of the blue. But no, they showed up out of the blue. Literally was walking around in my bra and underwear at this point, and I heard somebody knocking in the door, and I was going from the hallway into my bedroom, and I heard the door, and I walked to the door to see who it was. And literally when I was going to the door to see who it was, the maintenance dude was literally unlocking the door. And I told him, I was like, wait, 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 wait. He was like, what? I was like, I don't even have clothes on. And he was like, well, we sent you an email telling you that we were coming by. I said, well, I didn't get the email, so I don't know what you're talking about. And then I was like, you didn't even knock? Like, you didn't even, I don't know, like something, but why would you come? Why would you just come in and you don't even know, like, you don't even know if we were even here? Like, my sister had parked her car somewhere else that day. They didn't even know if we were even in there or not. But that's one thing. And then also, not to mention, we when it started getting hot towards the summertime, our AC, something was wrong with it. Honestly, I don't know what was wrong with it, but something was wrong with it. And literally my sister would run the AC all day and night, and like it felt like there was no air coming out. Like, the AC would be running, like, I'm pretty sure y'all can hear the AC running right now, and it'd be running like this, but all day and night, and nothing was coming out. Like, no air was coming out of the AC. And it literally was so hot. It was so hot. Like, even with the fan blowing directly on me, it was still hot. Like, I slept with nothing on. Like, I slept naked sometimes and it was still hot. So it was just like it was just irritating and like overwhelming, and it's just ridiculous. Like, we literally paid more than majority of the people that live there, because our place is renovated, and we have to wait weeks and weeks for them to even come and look at the AC, just to come and say they came while we weren't there the first time, and they literally came They turned the AC up and they walked out. Like, you guys didn't even fix anything. It's too hot to not have AC. We put in several maintenance requests. Like, after several maintenance requests, we even when we would see the maintenance dudes riding around on the little golf carts in the parking lot, we would stop them and tell them, you know, our situation with our AC, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna fix it. We're gonna fix it," and then they never come. And it was just really like irritating and frustrating and just like ridiculous. Like, we shouldn't have even had to deal with that. Like, it's just really too hot to not have AC, or to have an AC that doesn't work, like, you know. And that was another thing for me that it was just too much for me to handle. um Also, um when me and my sister got our taxes, we decided to go and get our beds then. So, you know, I'm pretty sure, you know, those of you that had your own place and you had to buy your own furniture, you know, when you start buying your own stuff from from start to finish, it's really, stuff really costs money. And honestly, I it took for me to have to go through that to understand that having your own place and paying rent and paying bills, and then also buying furniture for your house and buying decor and, you know, um dishes and silverware and cups and plates and all that type of stuff, it's really, it's expensive, honestly. And I seen just how expensive it can be when I started buying stuff myself. And you know, I understood why people feel some type of way about having their stuff stolen when they've worked so hard to buy it, and, you know, and to be able to decorate their house, and then they have somebody go and steal their stuff. Like, I completely understand how I felt, because that's how I was feeling. Like, you know, honestly, the area we lived in Vegas was not a good area. It was like one of the worst areas you can live in. We lived on the east side. For all the people that know Vegas, y'all know what I'm talking about. The east is literally like one of the worst sides of town you could be on in Vegas. Like, if not the worst, it's one of the worst. And it it was definitely a learning experience. I've never lived in any type of like ghetto hood or anything like that. That was the excuse me. That was the first time I really like lived in a bad area. Like, I've never, growing up, I didn't live in a bad area. I've always lived in a, you know, a really good area, and I never really had to deal with that. But, you know, that was my first time experiencing that, and honestly, I'm glad I did, because it was a learning lesson for me. You know, the things I did when I lived in Vegas, I'll never, like, all the, you know, mistakes I made, like letting my sister get on my phone bill. That's another thing. I let my sister get on my phone bill. I added her on my line. Worst mistake ever. Like, literally, if I've never done anything else stupid in my life, that was literally the worst thing I could have ever done. So I'm gonna tell you guys from my experience, from what I've gone through, don't ever, 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 ever add somebody on your phone bill, insurance, whatever it is. Do not add anybody on anything, that any type of plan, phone, whatever. Don't add anybody on things on your own line. I'm sorry, I lost the words for a second. But literally, that was the dumbest thing I could have ever done. Me trying to be nice and, you know, think about her and stuff like that. In the end, I'm the one that got burned. Like, you know, Um, we started talking. She technically, the lease was in her name. And initially, I was like feeling some type of way because I'm like, she could tell me to leave and this and that. But honestly, that I dodged a bullet. I dodged a missile, a bomb, whatever. I dodged something major that day. Like God, I don't know. God put something in the air that day, and she ended up changing her mind, and she didn't put me on the lease. And honestly, that was the best thing that could have happened because I don't got to worry about it. You know, if she get evicted, if she, you know, something happened to the place, when it's time to move out, and her ex, and all that stuff that her ex broke, I don't gotta pay for it. That's gonna be on her. So, you know, I mean, honestly, I'm glad that, you know, she ended up changing her mind and just put her name on the lease. Cause in the end, she thought that me not being on the lease was, you know, something against me, but at the end of the day, it's something against her because at the end of the day, when it's time for her to move out in February, all the door and the shower and all that, the carpet and the window and all that stuff her ex broke, that's gonna be her paying for it. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know, I'm not tripping. At the end of the day, when I go to get my own place, you know, I'm still gonna be able to get my own place. So you know, I don't really care about none of that. But um, as far as me putting being nice and putting her on my line, I should have never done that. Like I should have known to never do something like that because I'm telling you guys from experience, don't ever put somebody on your phone bill, your insurance, or whatever it is you got, the lease, whatever it is. Don't put somebody's name, else's name on any of your accounts unless you're married or you're getting married or something like that. Then okay, I can understand that. But as far as family, friends, anybody, don't even trust it because they will use you and they'll add hella stuff on your and you'll be responsible for paying for it. My sister got a iPhone and AirPods and Apple Watch, you know, stuff. She bought stuff that I'm stuck paying for because I was stupid enough to put her on my line. And you know, that's what I get for being stupid because I never should have put her on my line at all. I should have known better than that. I should have known her intentions were not good and they weren't genuine. And I should have been like, no, like, you know, you need to get your own plan. But, you know, me trying to be nice, trying to be a nice person, trying to help her out, you know, I was trying to be nice. And honestly, I should have seen that. Honestly, my issue is that I need to stop. I'm nice to the wrong people. You know, I try to help people who don't deserve it, you know, if that makes any sense. Like, I always want to help somebody, but in the end, they end up doing me dirty or doing me wrong. And I sit up there and I regret helping them. And that's pretty much what happened with my sister. I wanted to help her and get a phone because I knew she got a phone with T-Mobile before and she still owed a lot of money on it, and I knew they weren't gonna let her get a line on her own name, so I helped her out because I thought that was the right thing to do, and I really just wanted to help her. But you know, when somebody has bad intentions or they don't genuinely care about you, in the end, it kind of it kind of hurt, like, you know, knowing that, like, my sister never really, like, cared about me or anything like that. She never cared about my happiness or anything like that, you know. It does hurt, but at the end of the day, she's always going to be the same person. She's not going to change. And that's not my fault, you know? And you know, let me know if you guys have had a similar situation or, you know, something like this. But honestly, I shouldn't have did it. Like, you know, I sit back and I think about it, and you know, I replay from the time we went to Vegas to the time I left, when I left. And honestly, the whole time she was just playing me. She didn't really care about me. She just wanted me there to just pay for everything and do whatever she wanted me to do, and you know, this and that. And she wanted to boss me around till she was older and this and that. And in reality, you know, she's one of those type of people that she tries to make you feel insecure about yourself because it makes her feel better about herself. But in reality, people like that, they get what they deserve, honestly. Eventually, she's gonna get her karma. I don't know when it's gonna be or when it's gonna happen, but it's gonna happen. And at the end of the day, I'm not mad. I'm not holding a grudge, but I will never speak to her again. And we can never have that bond or any other type of relationship. We can't even be acquaintances ever again. You know, she broke my trust, and she's just not a good person, honestly. Like, and I just, you know, I'm not mad. I don't have any beef with her, but I'm just being honest. I'm saying how I feel, and you know, it is what it is. As for my experience in Vegas, I don't regret it because it taught me some really valuable things, not for life, you know, relationships with people, my own self-security, my self-worth, protecting myself. It taught me a lot of valuable lessons that I needed to learn and experience. And you know, I can't say I regret it because I don't, but I just wish I would have made different decisions. But yeah, from there, you know, Vegas taught me that you can't trust your family. Well, I ain't gonna say you can't trust your family. You can't trust some people in your family. That not everybody has your best interest at heart. That just because somebody says they do something out of the kindness of their heart doesn't mean that they're doing that out of the kindness of their heart. That doesn't mean just because somebody does something for you doesn't mean they don't expect something in return, or they don't have ulterior motives. Sorry, I can't talk. That doesn't mean they don't have ulterior motives. It also taught me to protect myself as far as like being more cautious on who I'm around and who I talk to and who I meet, stuff like that. It also taught me to, you know, when I'm looking for apartments, to make sure to take somebody with me that I trust, to make sure that I'm not getting tricked into something that isn't real. Like, pretty much what I mean by that is, when I'm going to look for places, whatever they have on the website that they say an apartment comes with, it needs to come with it. If they're saying it comes with a washer and dryer, the washer and dryer needs to be there. If they're saying it comes with working AC and heat, the AC and the heat need to be working. If it come with brand new appliances, the appliances better be brand new. That's what I'm saying. For you guys, take my advice. When you're going and getting your first place, or you're going to get another place, make sure whatever they're saying the apartment comes with, that it actually comes with it. The AC works, the heat works, the appliances are, brand new, and there's no bugs, and the shower knob ain't breaking on you the first time you use it. Like, inspect everything and take somebody with you that you trust. That way, if you don't catch something, they could catch something, or whatever. But and as far as roommates, I say if you don't need a roommate, don't have one. Honestly, having roommating with my sister was the worst experience I could have ever had living with anyone. And I'm glad I had the experience because now I know I'm never living with any family ever again. I'm never having a roommate again. And it was just a life lesson. But I say if you don't need a roommate, don't get one. Honestly, they're not, especially family, they're literally the worst roommates you can have, especially when they're older because they feel like they can boss you around and tell you what to do. So I would recommend, if you don't need a roommate, don't get one. Live by yourself, live with your partner, your significant other, whatever. But if you don't need a roommate, don't get one. Honestly, in all reality, I didn't need a roommate. I could have got my own place. But, I thought the idea of me and my sister living together would be a good idea, but it ended up being the worst idea I've had in my whole life. So, yeah, roommate, don't get a roommate. Take my advice. If you don't need a roommate, just don't get it. Just don't get one. Honestly, like, it will save you unnecessary stress, BS, bullshit, and any type of extra stuff that don't need to be going on. It will save you from all of that. It will alleviate any extra stress that's not needed, because you'll be living with your by yourself, or you'll be living with your significant other, so you're not gonna have to deal with that. But yeah, I would strongly recommend, do not get a roommate. Um, as far as Vegas, I don't think it's a bad place. I just think the area we were in was bad. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't regret it because it was a very huge life lesson. And I feel like everything happens for a reason. God puts you in certain situations so that you can learn from it and prevail. And next time when you're in a situation where you're going to get your own place, or you're moving, or wherever, whatever the situation is, not to make that same mistake. Like, when I move out, I know not to get a roommate. I know not to live on a bad side of town. And I know to do things differently because of that experience that I had, that situation that I was put in. And I'm more prepared for what is to come, and now, when I do move out, I'm going to be living by myself. So it's not going to be any added stress that I don't need from a roommate, or fa- family member, or whoever, whatever. So, yeah. Um, I don't know. Well, I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna ask me this, but no, I don't talk to my sister anymore. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that already, but just in case you guys didn't catch it, I don't talk to my sister anymore. I don't plan on talking to her ever again. But I'm not. I don't wish bad on anybody. I'm not that type of person. I don't wish anybody to fail in life. I don't wish anybody to have any type of problems or anything like that in life. That's not that type of person I am. But like, I wish her well. I wish her success in whatever career she chooses to go in. And I hope she has a good life. I really do. I'm not gonna wish bad on her. I don't wish bad on anybody, not even my worst enemy. But at the same time, you know, it's better that we don't talk ever again. That's all I'm saying. You know, um, for me, I mean, even if I seen her right now, I wouldn't have nothing to say to her, honestly. I could yell, I could be mad, I could want to fight her, I could, do all of that, but at the end of the day, it's not going to change anything. It's not going to solve anything. It's only just going to make stuff worse. Fighting her, what is that going to do? I mean, yeah, I could fight her and beat her ass or whatever. And then what? It's still, the situation is still going to be the same. So, I mean, honestly, fighting her is not going to do anything. Um, but honestly, the best revenge is success. So, yeah, I could see her and I could fight her and we could get into it and argue and we can do all that. But at the end of the day, what is it gonna do? Like what do I get out of that? What does she get out of that? It doesn't, that doesn't do anything for me or for her, honestly. But if she sees that I'm successful and I got something going for myself and I'm not worried about anything that she has going on, which honestly I'm not, but you know, it's like that's the best revenge. Honestly, success is the best revenge. When somebody sees you that doesn't like you and they want you to do bad and they wishing bad on you and all that stuff, you don't have to shut them down by arguing and fighting and doing none of that. You know how you could shut them down? By them seeing you're successful. By them seeing that you got something going for yourself, you're not even bothered or even worried about what they have going on. That's going to shut it down right there because they're going to see that you're not even worried about them. You haven't thought about them at all. That's success is really the best revenge. So I mean, yeah, I could sit up there and be mad and sad and crying and all that stuff about everything she said to me, did to me, and everything like that. But at the end of the day, that's not going to get me nowhere. That's not going to help me achieve my goals and reach my high points in life. So it's no point in doing it, honestly. When she sees that I'm successful and that I don't care about what she has going on or what she's doing or anything like that or even how she's doing in life, that's gonna shut her down right there. She's gonna be like, oh, she's not worried about me. Sure not, definitely not. But you know, honestly, it took me a long time to be able to say that because I used to want to argue with people and fight and get into it and all that stuff. But it took me time to be like, what does that do for me? I could argue and fight and excuse me, get into it with the person, but at the end of the day, what is the goal? Like what does that accomplish? Doesn't accomplish anything, honestly. It just you're either in a worse situation than you were before with the person or you're in the exact same position you were with them before. So honestly, fighting and arguing is not going to make it any different. And I mean, at the end of the day, somebody could call you any name in the book. They could say anything they want about you. But when you're successful and you're achieving your goals and you're doing what makes you happy and you're living your best life, there's nothing they can say about you. If you're successful, you're making money, you got your own business, you going to school, you just got your degree, you just bought your first house, you just bought your first car, whatever it is, and they see that, there's nothing they can say about you. I mean, there's nothing they could say about you, and even if they do say something about you, it's not gonna matter because at the end of the day, you're doing you, you're living your best life, and there's it's really nothing to say. I mean, even if they did say something about you, it's like it's not gonna matter because you got shit going for you. You got you're successful. you're living your best life. You're not worried about who doesn't support you, who's being a hater or anything like that. You're not worried about that. So, like I said, I'm not throwing shade on my sister. I'm not beefing with her. I'm not talking shit about her. I'm just saying what happened, my story, my experience. Um, like I said, I don't wish bad on her. I hope she does have a good life. I hope she does succeed in whatever she, wants to do. And I hope that things go well for her. But, you know, I just don't plan on talking to her ever in life again. That's all. Not wishing bad on her or anything like that. You know, it is what it is. I'm not mad about the situation anymore. Me sitting around being mad is not going to accomplish anything. So, it's no reason for me to be mad. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't think Vegas is a horrible place. It's really not the best place, but I mean, you just live and you learn, honestly. Like, it is what it is. So, you know, as far as me, like where I'm am now, sorry, I stuttered. Um, I live back at home with my parents, yes, I'm trying to save money to move out and everything like that. Um, I've been working and then, I've been starting YouTube. Like I just posted my first video yesterday. So, this has always been a goal of mine. I've always wanted to do YouTube, but like I've always been, I don't know, I've always been worried about what other people would think about me and this and that instead of just doing it and going for it and doing what makes me happy. And, I'm glad that I'm in a better space to be able to do this because, now that I've started doing it, I've really enjoyed it. And, I want to continue doing it for, years to come. And, I hope you guys will, still be around watching my videos and I hope you guys enjoy them. I don't have nothing to offer but me, the 100% me, authentic me, my experiences, my stories. I can't speak for nobody else. I can only speak for me. So, this is real. This is how I feel about this situation. And I hope you guys, can get with that. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I stay with my parents right now, trying to save up money to move out. I just started YouTube, like I mentioned, and me and my boyfriend have been dating for 6 going on 7 months. So like I'm really happy about that. Honestly, like he's really the love of my life. So I don't know, I was small when I talk about him, but I'm happy. Like this is the happiest I've ever been, and I feel like I'm in a better state of mind, in a better position than before. And I'm not gonna let my situation with my sister get me down or make me feel bad about myself or make me feel insecure or make me feel like I'm not worth anything or anything like that anymore, because it took me some time, but I realized like I am worth it. I know what I bring to the table. I know I could be successful. I know I could be whatever I put my mind to. And I'm not gonna let one person get me down or ruin my life or stop me from doing what I want to do or stop me from achieving goals that I've always wanted to achieve. So yeah, so like I said, that's my Vegas experience. That's my truth. That's my whole experience with that. If you guys wanted to hear any other story times, you know, any other experiences that you guys would want me to come on here and talk about, please let me know in the comments. I have plenty of stories to tell. I mean, I even got a California story time, so if y'all want to hear that, let me know. But I don't mind getting on here telling my stories and, you know, expressing how I feel. It actually makes me feel better about it makes me feel better talking about it. Sorry. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this story time and you guys want to hear more story times, please let me know. Leave a comment down below and I'll make sure to make another story time on whatever topic you guys want to hear about. But yeah, like I said, that was my Vegas story time. If you guys liked this video, like it, leave a nice comment down below, and subscribe if you're not already. But yeah, that's it, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.